Hey, so first video in this series on mental health is going to be on mental health advocacy and types of therapies that you can get. So this is going to be a very short condensed because it's video and you don't want to watch like a 30-minute video on this, but I will put links below to the different types of therapies that I talk about, and also a link to my blog where I further explain things, which will be up today, tomorrow, at some point in time. I know a few days ago, I think it was Monday, was Mental Health Awareness Day, and I totally should have gotten on board with that, but things have been really busy with me being back in America, and I'm in Kentucky and looking for jobs and interviewing, so I was just really busy. And I'm staying at my parents' house right now, and I like to film when nobody's around, and I was not alone ever. So there's no videos until today because my parents are at work. So the first thing, mental health advocacy to me is very simple in the sense that if you need help and you want help, speak up. There's going to be somebody there who wants to help you out, who wants to get you to the right services and wants to get you linked to the right things. I don't often advise people going to their primary care physician for psychological problems because they're not really trained at all in dealing with that. I know there are some PCPs, I know my PCP can prescribe medications and things like that, but they don't really get to the heart of the matter. And so I would, if you feel more comfortable going to them and asking if they know any psychologists or psychiatrists or therapists or whatever you're looking for, that's a good place to start. Also, a good place to start is in your community. There's also some websites, which I'll link below in the description box, where you can find therapists and other whatever you're looking for in your area. And you can call them and talk to them and find out what fits best for you. I definitely tell a lot of my experience with clients has been they've been mandated to see me. Like there's been a judge or somebody involved. So they don't really have a choice. I am who they get. But for me, when I sought out therapy, I had a choice. I pretty much knew who I wanted to go to. I had been familiar with this therapist, but I would advise doing initial sessions. And I tell my clients this if they want to ever seek outside therapy when they're done with probation or whatever, is the first session is a really a getting to know you. It's a getting to know the therapist, and it's a therapist getting to know you. So that no problems are solved in the first session. So I advise set up some appointments, set up a couple, research who you want to find, who you want to go see, and then go and set up first sessions and go talk to them, go see if they're the right fit, and be honest with them in that session and say I'm just trying to figure out who's right for me. These are talk about some the broad topics about what's going on, and then see if they can really help you. See if you click with that person. See if your personalities match. Ask them questions about things, and just see what works best for you. Because if not, if you don't gel well with your therapist, you're not going to make any progress, and it's going to be a waste of your time and money and their time when they could be spending it with somebody else that they do click with. So I just speak up. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not flawed. You're not broken. You're not anything wrong. You're human. And brokenness and flaws and all of that are part of being human. And there's nothing wrong with seeking help. So do what you need to do and try to find the best way to take care of yourself. So, most people, when they seek out therapy, do traditional talk therapy, which is fine. That's what I do. But when you're looking for that, there are usually three people that kind of come to mind. There's a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a general therapist / counselor. The terms are kind of interchangeable. So a psychiatrist is an actual medical doctor. So they're trying to figure out whether or not your symptoms are physical, mental, a combination of the two, or a combination of the two. And they often will prescribe medications for that. That's that's like it. You're not going to get a huge like session out of them. They're not going to talk to you about a lot. They're going to talk to you about your symptoms, what's working, what's not working, and then you're out. That's it. Which some people need. But I often, when I've worked a part of a team, it's been me and a psychiatrist that work together. Psychologists are, generally they're therapists, but they're PhD level therapists. I'm a master's level therapist. They have gone the extra step. But some can prescribe medications. I've seen some that can. It doesn't happen often. And there are generally 3 types of psychologists. There's a client-based psychologist, which would be like a therapist that you go and see and talk to and you do sessions with. There's an industrial psychologists, which they work with research in business and industries and government and social organizations to use that research to better those industries. And then there are research and academic-based psychologists, which basically just do research and teach. I have seen both and worked with people who are client-based and academic psychologists. It's all very interchangeable. There's a lot of fluidity in that, but they're generally PhD level therapists. And then there's a therapist / counselor. They kind of go by different things. I will answer to whatever, and that would be me, master's level therapist. Any therapist who's practicing has to be at least a master's level. So not people with bachelor's degrees in psychology. That is not a therapist. A therapist is a master's level, period. But I do want to talk and highlight at the end of this video a couple other therapies that you might want to look into if traditional talk therapy might not be your best effort. And so I'm going to look in notes so make sure I get the definitions right on everything, because I don't want to misrepresent people. The first one I'm going to talk about is primarily used for children, but I've seen other adults use them. I've seen it used with teenagers. I've seen it used in but it's usually done with children under 12, and that's play therapy, which I really love. I love to use with younger kids. I love to use a lot with families because you can kind of see how families play together, especially if they have older siblings and younger siblings. But play therapy is a form of counseling that uses play to communicate and help people, especially children, to prevent and resolve psychosocial challenges. This is thought to help towards better social integration, growth and development, and emotional modulation and trauma resolution. As far as I know, you do not have to have a master's level to do play therapy, but there is a certification for it. I might be wrong. I will do further research and I'll let you know in my blog. Next is art therapy, and I am an art therapist. Art therapists do have to have master's degrees in art therapy. Anybody else who uses art in therapy are not art therapists unless they have a master's degree in art therapy. That's all I'll say about that. But I'm going to read the definition from the American Art Therapy Association of what art therapy is, so I'll make sure I cover all the bases. But art therapy is a mental health profession in which clients, facilitated by an art therapist, use art, media, and the creative process and resulting artwork to explore feelings, reconcile emotional conflicts, foster self-awareness, manage behavior and addictions, develop social skills, improve reality orientation, reduce anxiety, and increase self-esteem. A goal in art therapy is to improve or restore a client's functioning and his or her sense of personal well-being. Art therapy practices knowledge of visual art, drawing, painting, sculpture, and other art forms in the creative process, as well as human development, psychological, and counseling theories and techniques. So, and how art therapists use art in their practice varies therapist to therapist as it would in any other form of therapy. So the next one is music therapy, and a music therapist is an allied health profession, and And one of the expressive therapies consisted in the process in which a music therapist uses music in all of its facets, physical, emotional, mental, social, aesthetic, and spiritual, to help improve clients' physical and mental health. You also have to have a degree in music therapy to use music and to be called a music therapist. So there's that. Then there's recreational therapy. Most of the time you see this in facilities more so than like you seek out a recreational therapist, but there are recreational therapists out there. So according to the American Therapeutic Recreation Association, recreational therapy is a treatment service designed to restore and rehabilitate a person's level of functioning, independence, and life activities to promote health and wellness, as well as reduce or eliminate activity eliminations and restrictions to participation in life situation caused by illness or disabling condition. You also have to have a degree in recreational therapy to be a recreational therapist. Another one is drama therapy. Drama therapy is the use of theater techniques to facilitate a personal growth and promote mental health. It's used in a wide variety of settings, including hospitals, schools, mental health centers, prisons, and businesses. It's a form of expressive therapies and exists in many forms and can be applicable, I can't say that word today, to individuals, couples, families, and various groups. You also have to have a master's degree in drama therapy to be a drama therapist. And then the last one is movement and dance. And it is the use of dance and movement to promote emotional, social, cognitive, physical, and health integration of the individual. You also have to have a degree in dance therapy to be a dance and movement therapist. It does not mean that people can't use the techniques in therapy, but if you're not trained to use them, it's very hard to read them and use these interventions correctly. So if those are things that would appeal to you, I advise looking in your area, and I will put links to all of the associations below so you can search and find if that's something that you're looking for, a specific therapist in your area. Thank you so much. See you later.